Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character listener by me. So let's get into it. Scaramouche. Scaramouche wasn't really used to being so touchy with someone. And honestly, you weren't that used to it either. But Scaro was different than most people. He wasn't used to touch, at all. If he was affectionate, the only touch he knew was a touch when he was being experimented on by the doctor. So definitely not a good kind of one. So he was kind of averse to it for a little bit when he started dating. And with you being so touchy with him, wanting to cuddle and kiss him, it was kind of a little bit of a problem. Because then, Scaramouche would have to do his best to endure. And he shouldn't have to. And even though he tried to stay quiet, to be normal about this, he knew he had to say his true feelings. That he had to be honest with you. So that's why he stopped when you tried to reach out and hold him. Why, aren't you feeling like you're a little bit too clingy? He asks. He sees the way you frown and your face deflates. You really think I'm that annoying? You ask, looking away. Wait, Ryan, I didn't say that. I think it's a little bit too much sometimes. And you know I'm not used to it, he says. And you can be honest about the fact that even though you knew all of that, you thought that being more touchy with him would solve things, instead of, talking to him first. Talking to Scary can be awkward sometimes, so you thought getting into the action right away would have been better. But seeing the way he looked at you, and the way he said that word, he didn't like it at all. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be annoying to you. You don't have to say it out loud, Scaramouche. But now that you say this, I can clearly tell from your eyes. You whisper, and he feels really upset. Guilty that he made you feel that way. But you had to be honest. And that was how he truly felt. You were a little bit too much for him. And he needed to consider his own perspective a little bit more. And hopefully, after you calm down, he would be able to talk to you about it. But right now, as you got up and went to your room, he knew that there was definitely no talking. Venti? Venti wasn't the most touch-averse person, but if there was anything he knew about him, it was that he actually disliked when people touched him too much, especially when he wasn't ready for it. He wanted to be ready for that, and to be mentally prepared. But he thought that being in a relationship would make him change that way of things, and he'd be able to see your way, and see just how much you need this, and realize that it's not all that bad, and like it as well. But maybe the two of you should have communicated better on your boundaries on what you liked and what you didn't. Because right now, as you were in an outing with your friends, Venti was being uncomfortable, as you wrapped your arms around him, pulling him close and holding him in front of them. You didn't know why he looked like that. Maybe he had an upset stomach or something. You never truly thought that it could be you who was making him so uncomfortable. And yet, that seemed to be the case. So that's why he took you to the side, once you got up, holding your hand gently in his, and gave you a firm look. Oyan, can I talk to you about something? He asks, and he nodded, giving him a soft smile. Yes, Venti, of course. What is it? He huffs, and that's where you notice a little bit of annoyance. The air surrounding you getting a little bit more tense. Why are you being so clingy in front of them? I don't get it, he asks, and you feel yourself wince a little bit. He truly thought that behavior was clingy, when all he did was wrap an arm around him, something that was very normal between partners. You ended up apologizing in the end, but when you could still tell that you were upset, he just wanted to ask. He had no idea how partners were supposed to act. So, for him, it seemed like that was being clingy, when in reality it was just normal behavior. But he promised himself that once you calmed down a little bit, he would talk to you about it more. He was just not used to being vulnerable in front of people, and he needed some time. That was all. Xiao? Xiao was not an affectionate person. Not because he didn't love you, but because he wasn't used to being vulnerable and touchy. It was also new to him. And he loved it when you were like that with him. It was just a little bit surprising. And that's why he needed this time with it. And he hoped you'd be able to understand that. But it seemed like he needed to be more obvious with it. Because most of the time, when he did something, he would let you do it. However, it seemed like you were more needy and affectionate those past few days. And he was getting uncomfortable with that. Why on? You're being kind of clingy, he points out, deciding to be honest. There was no point in beating around the bush. If anything, it was only going to set you back, and it could cause misunderstandings. And as you looked at him, a small frown on your face, he noticed that those words upset you. Is this a wrong thing to say? He asks. And you sigh softly. No, Xiao, not exactly. But it's often used if you think the person doing it is annoying. Or that it is annoying in general. That's when Xiao immediately shakes his head, wrapping his arms around you, giving you a little bit of affection as well, to make up for what he had said. Knowing how they would comfort you. I didn't mean it like that. I just found it strange, and I wanted to know there was something wrong. And also, I'm not used to it. That's why, he said, and he softened, letting out a sigh. Well, the reason was because I'm upset. Things have been going wrong at my work, and that's why I was doing this. It made me happy. And though he was hesitant and completely unsure about hugs and affection, and sometimes it even made him uncomfortable, he was willing to try that day. And he kept cuddling you, pressing the softest and tiniest kiss to your forehead. Then, I guess I will try to challenge myself tonight and see how long we could keep this going. He said gently as he let out a giggle, and he decided to hold you there, to comfort you, since it was the least you deserved. And right then, he had discovered that initiating things like that wasn't that scary, and it even made it more comfortable for him. So hey, he was making an improvement.